No, no. Oh shit, did I not put it on the right setting? Oh, I forgot to change it. Well, let's see. Let's see if we hear them. Uh-oh. Oh, alright, there we go. Let's see. See if I remembered. Based. Let's get going. The fuck were we doing? What were we doing? Oh yeah, we beat Godric really fast. Because we were running out of time yesterday. Got it. Ooh. Too easy. Wheezy. I have no idea if we can beat Blackblade Kindred. Pretty sure there's gonna be a no-hit. Oh, I hate their moveset. Shit. Come on, switch weapons. I don't like that one. Ugh. Fuck you! Quit dodging it! Oh my days. Ah, shit. Oh, this is not good. We're gonna get the hell out of here because this is not going as good as I hoped it would. We're just gonna get the hell out of here. We're gonna just get the fuck out of here, guys. Mm. Oh my god. Fucking damage is pitiful. Hmm? The fuck is happening with my Discord? Hmm. I am reading something. My apologies. Hold on. Let me actually walk correctly while I read this. Alright. Curiosity is striking me. My shit even set up properly? Will they be able to hear me?
What's up, man?
Hey, what's up? Is this Diesel? Or Weasel?
Ow, my spine.
Stop dying. The fuck?
Bruv, listen. I'm out here just in my chair that I've just been sitting in since like God knows how
Wait.
long.
Oh, they can't hear me. Did I mute myself? No.
Neckbeard.
Ain't no way.
This is
Oh.
a 70-year-old woman.
There we go.
That's crazy.
There we go.
Hello.
Howdy. I had my mic muted for some reason, not sure why.
It happens, dude. It's Discord. But how you doing?
Doing alright, boss man. How are you? Y'all can't hear my game, right?
No.
I just had Borealis just scream in my ear. Hold on, let me turn that down. Ah! Damn it. Right.
So if you don't mind me asking, what led you into like all the Nomus stuff?
Straight up, I'm sitting there, right, scrolling through Twitter, and I get recommended a tweet from Pastel, and it's this weird message, I think, from Nomiz. And I just asked the question, I was like, what am I looking at? What is this? And then Pastel quote tweets me, and then I think I set her off, which is unfortunate, didn't mean to, but oh, yeah, what's up?
Oh no, sorry. I was just saying.
Yeah, set her off, and then I genuinely, straight up, had no idea what the hell any of this was or what I was looking at. And I was just trying to ask questions, and then they directed me to the document that they came out with recently. And that answered quite a few of my questions, but there was a lot of shit that was missing for me. Like I think like the main things I was looking for was one, gnome, I was looking for Gnome having any screenshots out there of him confirming that he knew their ages or any conversations where he makes a joke about their ages or any of that shit. And then the other thing I was looking for was either a screenshot from them in his server or them to him just saying their age. But the document didn't have it, so then I went to the videos, and then the videos didn't have it. But the videos had enough to keep piquing my interest, so then I just kept digging. And then I asked all the people in the document, questions that I had, and I think Pastel might have told them all that I was like secretly working for fucking Gnome or something, because they all kept saying something along the lines of, "Did you read the doc?" But yeah, and then Goulet provided like that last little bit that I needed, and then yeah, and then you reached out, and that was it.
Yeah, fair enough. I just want to check to see if there's like anything I could try to help out with in terms of that. But also, if you don't mind asking, what are your intentions with this? Like, are you planning to make a video on it, or?
Legit, I have no intentions whatsoever. My whole goal was just to figure out what the fuck was going on.
Fair enough. Self-research, I guess.
Yeah, like I'm gonna be frank, not really a video making kind of guy. I just kind of hop on stream, and then like I've been doing this for a year. You can check my YouTube. I got no fucking videos.
You're good, dude.
I think like the only time where I really invest outside of gaming is when something interests me. So the last thing to really pique my interest was Prism. That guy is a fucking nightmare.
You talking about Prison Mate Luke?
I'm talking about Prism 42.
Oh, Prism. Okay.
Yeah, that guy. You know about that guy?
No, I've heard something about it, but never really looked into it.
Yeah, that guy. What do you call it? He drove me up a fucking wall because my first, I guess, interaction with him is like this Nicholas Diorio tweet saying like, "Did you guys hear that the guy that broke the Chris Tyson story tried to get EDP, Chris Chan, and Shadman involved and like doxed one of the victims?" I was like, "What the fuck are you talking about?" And then I watched his video, and then sure enough, doxes the he doxes the one of the victims. Um, and then he admits to stalking Shadman and stalking Chris Chan to try and get them to help him put out this story about Chris Tyson. So yeah, just big hate boner for Prism. But yeah, that was the last thing that I really took interest in, and I even like named the stream like looking into Prism 42.
Fair enough.
But this one, I got like the itch while I was at work, and then just kind of looked into all of it while I was at work. So if I had done it on stream, it probably would have been agony for. I only have like 2 or 3 people that watch me, and one of them is like literally just here for the gaming content, so it would have been absolute fucking agony for them. So it kind of motivated me to keep going at work.
Fair enough, dude.
But yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of it.
Fair enough. I was just curious in terms of it because sometimes people like are new to the commentary community and trying to get their foot in the door and do stuff. So I was just curious because I was like, okay, well, anything I could provide you for video or try to help out with that, I'll offer that.
Nah.
But
If I if
questions in general and shit.
what do you call it? If I ever, I don't really consider my. I mean, what do you call it? It's fun to commentate on stuff, but I just kind of consider myself like a bullshit hanging around streamer.
Fair enough, dude. Nothing wrong with that.
If I did ever get into commentary, it'd probably just be live streams and shit. I have like no, what do you call it? No drive to make videos, so I'm just kind of chill with looking into stuff, leaving the live stream up of the stuff I find. I thought about making a Prism 42 video, but the dude is he's just like a legit actual lol cow. So I don't know if I want to keep giving him attention.
Fair enough. Well, in terms of that, I'll share this information. Somebody that was helping with Casey, right?
Mhm.
With fucking ZV, Ace, Sam, all those people,
Mhm.
was some guy by the name of Spinningling. You may have heard him before because he was dealing with what was that other guy at the time? His fucking name. It is like dark tube content, but Spinningling was going to be filing a police report with them, helping them out with it, and those people had involvement in it as well. From what I know, they never did, but that's not confirmed yet.
I think that, or if they didn't, that wouldn't really surprise me.
Well, there's small commentary. Well, they're SEC members that are, in my personal opinion, a bunch of little losers, but that's just my personal take on it.
I would
They don't know what they're doing and they get involved in shit they don't know how to handle, and then they just botch it.
probably agree with that. My the what would you say? My first opinion was like, who the hell is this gnome guy? And then I swear to God, I tried reading the document, and then it was kind of difficult to go through on mobile because all the screenshots are like blown up. So I had to look on a desktop site. But when I was told by, I can't remember who told me, somebody led me to the CV video. I watched like 30 seconds and I immediately shut it off yesterday. It was awful. And then I decided to like push through it today because I was told like, oh no, there's stuff in there. You got to watch the video. There's information in there. And I watch it, and then like literally none of the questions I had were answered. And I was like, fuck. I just wasted an hour. And then I watched the second one. The second video was by far the best one. And that's not really saying a lot, but the second one was the one that had the Casey situation in it. I think probably the only thing that Sam and ZV did good, just for, again, this is from like one day, like 4 hours of research, cursory glance type stuff. But just from what I saw, I think that the only good they did is getting Casey to come out and speak on her experience. Other than that, I don't really think they did anything well because like in ZV's video, um, he oh oh shit. Oh my god, huge lag spike. Jesus Christ. Okay, well, I'm off a cliff now. In ZV's video, he keeps hammering home this idea of they were minors, they were minors, they were minors, and then like 30 minutes in, he says they were 17. Yeah, that's the legal age of consent, but 17 is still a minor compared to blah blah blah. And then he wasn't able to confirm Gnome's age in any of his coverage, and that was really pissing me off. And I think like the best shot they had at covering his age was this argument that like, oh well, he said in a message that he went to nursing school and that takes like 4 years, so he has at the very least he has to be like 23 or 24. In my mind, I was like, Jesus, that's all you got? What the hell?
Yeah.
But then, you know, got that last little puzzle piece that confirmed his age, and then that kind of made everything else fit together nice and neat.
I take it you've already seen his Tinder profile and all that shit.
I did from that one video. Pretty pretty rancid. But I don't know. To me, like when I didn't know anything about this and I was just like looking at his YouTube profile, I was like, oh, this feels like a guy from like 2010 that wanted to be like super super edgy, and now it's come back to bite him in the ass.
Clone type shit. Yeah.
That was my initial idea of what was going on. I was like, oh, this guy was probably a loser to a lot of people he knew, and it's coming back to bite him in the ass. But then after looking into it, I was like, oh no, this guy's a actual genuine creep. It kind of sucks that they dropped the ball this hard in their coverage. And then I think the thing that pissed me off the most and that made me keep pushing was the last third of ZV's second video. He takes the whole time to shit on Sam, and in my mind, I was like, why are you? This is a video called, oh, what was it? Shit. Like the thumbnail says like she was 14, and it's a picture of Dawn, and the title is like tied to him too, and then this last third is like you shitting on Sam for the way he covered the situation. Like what?
Back and forth at each other just to own each other instead of actually caring about the people involved in the situation.
My bad, boss. I had another huge lag spike. I heard I think, and then I heard that last bit.
Oh, you're good, man. Plus, most of them, in my personal opinion, the way they handled it was they were a bunch of pedantic, like, little aggressive children. They just wanted to have a leg up on each other instead of actually caring about the people involved in the situation. That's just my 2 cents on it.
Yeah, that's what I told. I told Goulet the same thing. I don't know how to say their name, but pretty much I was like, to me, it feels like these people wanted to use y'all, and I know you don't, because I saw in her statement she was like defending Sam and a few others. So I was like, I know you don't agree, but from what I'm seeing, it just appears like they wanted to use y'all for the story and then not do anything serious after that. So that's why I said earlier, if what you said is true and that they haven't done shit with the police report, it would not surprise me in the slightest.
Hmm. I'll say, coming to my understanding of the whole situation, uh, in regards to, I don't know how to explain it. If we're gonna talk about the timeline in regards to Nomis and what he's done for the past 5 years, keeping in mind that, to my understanding, this situation started 2019.
Hmm.
I wasn't around for that. Uh, most of that I'd have to just find out through ZV's video. I haven't seen much of it either. I only I went back. I think I watched it because that was the part where I was mentioned 2 times. It was one, I was mentioned as Lex because keep the name anonymous and all that jazz. And then I was re-mentioned as the name I went by from that time. I was like, ah, shit.
Oh, are you Ghoul?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, what's up?
Sorry. I said
No,
I
you're
saw
all
them
good.
silent there.
I saw Leigh on there. I was like, maybe that's Ghoul.
Yeah.
I had to
Yeah,
turn
I
on my.
got him in here just so it might make things easier with explaining shit too for you. I figured it wouldn't be a bad idea to get whoever I know involved. I don't know the other people, never interacted with them really, but I knew Ghoulie here, Goulet. I can't even pronounce your name either. Sorry.
Could you say Lee?
Sorry, Lee. But as far as their situation goes, I contacted like the local PD in Scotland that was near Nomus. They couldn't do anything because at the time they went by Starlow. Starlow's case wasn't severe enough because there was no exchange of images. There was no full attempt that was very blatant and straightforward of attempt to like get with a minor, right? So they were like, well, if you're leery of it, we don't have the resources to investigate that. Submit it to CyberTip. So that's what I did. After that, like literally a few days later, I was like, okay, well, they're probably not going to be able to do anything with this. I went ahead and released the information I had on him because at that point in time, there was a phone number that was found that was Nomus's phone number, and Samuel decided to prank call it. So Nomus
Mm.
changed his phone number and went into hiding for a little bit.
Oh, can confirm I
Because
was there.
Awesome.
Uh, so what I can do, I can outline. I mean, I can outline for what happened with my situation. Just, like I say, I was there for it. The the initial call out, which would have been the video that I linked.
Hmm.
I don't know if I think I linked Weasel's one only, and then I think I used Sam's Twitter, and that's it. Um, I know Sam made a video initially first, but at this time I was at Grace. Keeping in mind when the initial call out wasn't gonna happen, well, it shouldn't have happened. What Samuel says in this video was that the what happened was that they thought that there was like a snitch because them lot were gonna make a video on Nomus regardless, but it was supposed to be that Nomus was a shitty person. Nothing like too wild.
Hmm.
During that time, I was speaking with Sam. Like actually, like I was speaking with them a lot, whilst also speaking with Nomus at that time. Because of their, curiosity of like there being like a snitch, like who's telling Nomus about like was it what Samuel and them lot are doing. Samuel asked for everybody's DMs. He then went to me, and just to specify, he asked for anything between June of 2023, I think either June, July 2023, going down. So by far, he only got a few messages. Probably him, like, was it? I think by far him calling me kind-hearted and calling me cute, and that was it.
Hmm.
So he only had those.
That
And I
was.
was like,
I'm sorry. Go ahead.
so I was really adamant because I know how Nomus was gonna react if he found out I was like leaving messages. I was like, don't show it. I was like, don't show it. Don't add it into your video and all that jazz. I wasn't listening to. It was public anyway, so I was like, oh fuck. So yeah. Then Nomus he got upset with me about that. I then went back to the UK September 5th, and I was reading back on a few messages, keeping in mind that after the situation happened, I had blocked him for one day when I was in Greece, and then I went back to him the next day, just being like, I don't know, still in that victim. I don't know, still like victim blaming myself, being like, oh no, it's my fault. I've ruined this person. He's dealing with a lot of shit, type of ordeal. Kind of like forget the fact he called me a bitch or like was or just like anything else like that. Nah, I just ruined him like that, so I just feel bad. So I went back to him that one day. When I came back to the UK September 5th, I reread a few messages, and this is when I fully analyzed the full messages. Everything that was from when we started talking going down. That's when I remembered we had more flirtation messages, and I was like, oh fuck. This is gross. I remember during the time when I was having those messages, when I was having those messages sent to me, it was that I knew it was wrong, but in the same position, I've seen how he reacts, and he does say in his own video, like in his response to Sam, that he's a psychopath. and I've never dealt with a psychopath before, so I was like, what the fuck do I do? Like, the best thing I could do is lay him down slowly and all that, just because I know, like, was it? Yeah, nah, this is wrong. You shouldn't be texting me the way they texting me. But what do I do so I don't, you know, hurt me in the process, hurt him in the process, hurt anybody else in the process? I was a very anxiety type of bitch. So, yeah.
There is something that we've glossed over as of the moment. Well,
Sorry.
repeatedly, no offense.
No, that's fine.
Another talking point, I don't know if you heard of it yet, but Nomus had sent Starlo at the time, which is Leigh here, images of Shota porn.
Are you talking about that that Leoxtiz image?
Oh.
Oh wait,
Yeah.
wait. Are you talking about oh man. What do you call it?
No, I'm talking like actual Google image search results of anime porn.
Oh
Shota
Jesus.
porn.
Yeah.
He shared that with them. That was the main talking point, because I don't know if you've seen my video yet. I believe Leigh put it in their doc. But my video, I addressed the calling Leigh cute and some of the other shit. You can't really say that's directly predatory, because I do defend Nomus a little bit in that, right? But towards the end, I go over that stuff. If I recall correctly, Leigh, you can correct me on that if I'm wrong.
Yeah. At some point you did, I think so.
Because I did not agree with their claims at the time, but further information has came out that proves that he is in fact a fucking weirdo. Because we have, what was it, with Jason, I believe it's Delirium, something like that.
Yeah.
He said some really heinous, horrible, fucked up shit to them, blaming them for something that happened to them and some even disgusting behavior. And of course, it came out too with Carrie, right? That he owned CP of them when they were a child. Now, granted, it's messy because they lied about their age, but at the same time, that is still CP and still a felony, right? So arguably, he is still in fact degenerate.
I would. So what do you call it? Just kind of going, I guess, from top to bottom. What's up, wife? What are you doing? Oh. Top to bottom, just with the worry about going back and defending him. I don't think that's an issue as long as you're upfront about it. I think it only is like it makes sense that you would be worried about the guy. To me, he just seems like an edgelord, but I can understand that being someone that's a little bit closer to him. You might be a little more worried or scared of him or something. So I don't think that's anything to, I guess, consider a point against you. Just as long as you're honest about it.
Well, it came off as like a defense in some terms, is what people told me, which I can understand that. It never was a defense for the man, because I fully disagree with him at that point in time. At that point in time is when I started digging into him.
Oh, no, I'm talking about just Leigh messaging him again and unblocking him and stuff.
Oh, that.
Yeah, but I was gonna get to that next part. The next part, I think the people that got mad that was a defense should probably just shut the hell up and sit down, because frankly that's probably the weakest part of the allegations in my mind.
I'd say it'd be worse for the fact that when that happened and when I was like 17 during that time,
it looks bad.
They know that happened. I did tell them that I was that I was still speaking with Nomus during that time, whilst I was still in Greece.
I would say that part is not a I think that part doesn't really, that if people get mad at you and consider that a defense, I don't really think they understand what's going on, because in their videos, right, they're not using that piece as a building block to a bigger narrative, right? They're using that single piece as an event. Like, they're like, this one event shows that he's a predator. This one event shows that he's a freak. And that gives him a lot of room to kind of wiggle out and say, oh, they're going through a breakup. I was just consoling them,
Yeah.
But if you say, listen, maybe this by itself isn't bad, but if this added to this, to this, to this, to this, shows that Gnome is predatory and kind of trying to manipulate the people around him for I don't know, sexual gratification or for just weird gratification, like when he was trying to get Casey to say please to delete the message.
Yeah.
But I think that you pointing out, Diesel, pointing out that saying like defending him on that, I don't think is a big issue in the broader scheme of things. Just because, again, if they were using it as a bit to a narrative, then it'd be fine. But they weren't using it as a bit to a narrative. That was like the whole narrative for them.
Yeah.
Well,
And
have you seen the? It's like an hour or something long video that I made on that. Have you had the time to look through that?
I spent the whole day looking at just CV and then getting in contact with everyone to get clarification on certain points. I haven't gotten time to look at it. I'll definitely look at yours tomorrow while I'm at work,
Are
and
you
then
okay if I send you two more in terms of that? Because there's one that's addressing the Anoma stuff, and there's a second one that's kind of like a follow-up that it goes over one of Sam's friends that were supposed to be helping Lee here with their stuff, right? It kind of gives you a feel of how these people are and how they operate, in my opinion.
yeah, it's fine with
One
me.
provides a little more insight and context. Lee, do you think that's an important thing to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It might as well.
So
I feel like
this would
it's.
be...
Oh, sorry, go ahead.
Oh, you're good. This would address the snitch too. The person that they thought was snitching was me, which I wasn't snitching. I was investigating both sides of it, like what you're supposed to do with commentary, right? Listen to both sides, get evidence on the table, shit like that. That would be this video. Some people argue that it was a defense for Nomus. I can see where it can come off like that. It was never my intention to defend him. It was more so I was addressing the problems with Sam's video along with calling out Nomus for his actual verbal behavior. After this took place, I confronted somebody that by the time went by Mama Ashley, or General Thick Boy Jordan at that time. They've since changed their name. They are in fact trans. So she goes by, I believe, I don't remember her name to be exact, but she was involved in this stuff and was going to help Lee here file a police report and never followed through with that. Something that we can kind of see an instance of with Casey, and you know them promising the same thing but never doing it.
Is there I'll definitely watch those videos tomorrow.
For sure.
And then I'll take notes and then just shoot you my thoughts.
Definitely.
I guess my question is, would Lee or Sam have DMs of them, or just any kind of communication showing that they asked for assistance or that they were offered assistance with the police report?
There's proof to that inside of the second video I linked. They admitted, they said they were going to help file a police report, and they never did.
We call it, to me, like, just to make my position 100% clear, the Sam and ZV guy, I don't think they're helpful to the situation. I think that they're probably particularly harmful just because they make a lot of really weak points, and if Gnome is like half as smart as he claims he is, there's probably a pathway back for him through all of this, because they didn't hit on the things that I think would have been like irreversible damage.
So I agree with that to some degree. However, some of the Twitter stuff that came out as far as him blaming an SA victim, right? That's not going to go over well for him.
Oh yeah, that was
In terms
one of
that too,
yeah.
There's some other stuff that I have like tucked up my sleeve, I guess you could say. It's not anything that's endangering anybody, it's more so stuff to clown on him for, to keep him away, right?
Like I guess a good example would be like, even when you have something as, now again, this is just a example for the idea that I'm having. This is not like a one-to-one example, but like, you know, the whole doctor disrespect thing where like he gets banned and Twitch like literally ban him for messaging a minor, and then he comes back. Like half of the, not even half, almost all of Twitter is clowning on him and calling him a predator, but he still has that fan base that just really does not give a flying shit that he might have messaged somebody like way below 17. My only worry is that Gnome would have enough people like that to go, oh, well, they were 17. Oh, well, he was just being insensitive or a dick. He wasn't being predatory. And I think that ZV and Sam probably do the best job at strengthening those arguments with the weak arguments they have in their videos.
I would agree with that.
I think what? Because I think I told Lay this. A lot of what is already there is good enough to do permanent damage, but I think the way that it was covered was not
Bad.
so good. Yeah.
No, we could say it was shit.
I've been saying that since day one.
Okay.
So, well, I'll be honest. When the only credit I really ever gave, and I only give it for one person, I don't give it to ZV. I only gave it to Sam, and I gave it to Sam for when he did the initial video. Now, the only reason why I say that is because during that time, I think if it wasn't for him, I said what I said was that it would have not gotten the attention that it probably would have. Now, it was addressed poorly, to an extent, but like people know that he's being creepy to an extent, at least. By far, people were already calling him a pedophile by then anyway. So I was like, so I guess it did the job. Not exactly like it didn't come out the way I was gonna the way I wanted it to be. Because at the end of the day, I just I just wanted Nomis to be kept away, and quite frankly, it got out. Regardless, it got out, and it got and like a lot of people knew about it. So I was like, okay, cool, bet. So at least that's something. And the credit that I gave Ashley was that without her, I would have not really I would have not actually. Well, I would have not been spectacle. I would have not been spectacle for the second time when I read those DMs, but she would have I would have probably still been in contact with Nomis probably to this day. But that's the only credit I very much give. In regards to everything else after the aftermath of that, it was something else. I don't know. It's funny enough, the reason why when everything was coming out this time round, why the Google Doc was the only idea that really came to mind, hence why I suggested it, was because when the way that I saw people making videos as of recent, especially when they were addressing Nomis, was that it was addressing Nomis and putting it in the same severity as trying to fight with other commentators and using victims as gateways to that. So, say for example, there'd be ones where it could be like, oh, I spoke to this victim and this victim feels like this and da 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 da, and they have the trust and they put their trust in me, so therefore I'm the right one here. You know, I'm the spokesperson and all that jazz. It's like, and I'm like, don't do that, you know? What?
What do you call it? So also to be clear, I did not see Sam's video yet. I've been there's one big discrepancy that's eating at me, and it's annoying because I messaged somebody that is supposedly friends with Sam, because Sam's not getting back to me. Again, I don't blame him because I'm like a fucking 30 bot follower Andy, but the person was Mythical.
Oh.
You're not going to get anything out of Mythical. He was exposed recently for some fucked up shit, and he had a falling out with those people.
Oh, nice. Well,
yeah, and to my understanding, because Mythical does address it as well, he also made a video on it. He doesn't think the situation was pedophilic. Quite frankly, his video is a copyright. It's a copy of Sam's.
So,
pretty much.
Did he have a falling out with Sam or with Gnome?
He had a falling out with everybody in commentary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Sam and Gnome.
Because like the one thing I asked him, that's been bugging me is ZV claims that Sam is claiming there's like 4 to 5 victims, but ZV says that he can only confirm 3. And to his credit, in his video, he only backs up the 3 victims in video 1 and 2. Um,
Mm.
but I'm curious as to where the hell Sam is getting 4 to 5. Um, and I asked
Uh,
Mythical. I was like, "Do you know?" I was getting a little upset at Mythical, but I was trying to stay calm because I kept asking him like, "Well, do you have screenshots? Do you like know where I can find them?" He's like, "Oh, it's in the video." I was like, "You're not helping me, man. I like where in the video? Where?"
Okay, so you know how the doc has 3 people? It's Lee
Mm-hmm.
or
4.
Ghoulie. It has 4 people in the doc.
Yes.
Is Carrie in that doc?
I think
Oh,
it's Delirium,
are you talking?
K.
Sorry, I'm saying 4, including me. So me and 3 other people.
So 4 to 5 is not far off. There was somebody else as well, but there was never anything that was proven, and they since left the scene of everything. They left the internet pretty much because of the stuff.
Mm.
They talked about it in a VC, from what I've heard. Never got to have contact with them, and pretty much they just had a lot of mental, like, I guess, like mental health problems. And then regarding the situation, it was really just putting a toll on them, so they just left.
Fair enough.
I say allegedly because I don't know their age, never interacted with them. Allegedly, they were 16, but I don't know anything outside of that.
Are you referring to Zeal?
No.
No, Zeal is. I think Zeal is still like.
Yeah, Zeal responded. That's why I was asking. I was like, well, I got a response from Zeal, Delarum, Callie, and then I haven't had a very fruitful conversation with Pastel.
Yeah, no, this isn't Zeal. This person was 16, soon to be 17. I want to say they went by, I don't know, like, it was Sun something. It was something weird, but that was a party. Maybe that's why people are saying 5. That's
Mm.
my only guess. Because I heard there were other people. I didn't know who all was involved, right?
Mm.
So I heard other people. That's why I posted his information out there after I tried filing a police report and didn't get anywhere with that, so I did a cyber tip.
Yeah, that's also bugging me really bad. Have has anyone made contact with like a YouTube rep or something regarding this?
YouTube doesn't want to do anything because there's not actual like charges filed against him, right? They only do that if somebody's an active like predator. There's proof to that, like there's proof of predation, or a lot of bad PR that YouTube would receive for it, or proven that they're on a registry. That's the only time YouTube will do something. Unless you're
Has
in your other avenues of they're promoting scams or self-harm or shit in that territory, right?
has anyone tried to hand this off to someone that might be that might have a bit more, I guess, reach?
In terms of what I know, I have no idea.
Um,
I don't know what those people had. Again, I only had my hands involved in one case that wasn't nearly, like, I don't mean this as rude to Ghoulie here, Lee. It wasn't as complex nor severe as the other cases. Is there signs of some weird fucked up shit? Yes, but it wasn't to the level it needed to be escalated. So it was pretty much dead in the water at, okay, cyber tip, tried contacting authorities, they can't do shit about it. As far as the other stuff, my hands weren't involved in that. I wanted to help, but was gate kept from helping.
did they give a reason as to why, or did they just were they just like, well, no, this is my story?
I mean, they've never liked me. They usually commentary like is like a clique. It's like high school all over again, right? You have
Mm.
your cliques. If they don't like you, they don't like you. You're not involved in anything.
Mm.
A lot of shit gets covered up. A lot of people, you know, have dirt on each other, but they don't expose each other because, well, they're gonna get exposed next if they come out with that. Because everyone's got something on everybody. It's scummy. It's gross. But that, unfortunately, is the commentary state we're in. I'm 100% against it. I think it's vile. I think it's disgusting. But that is where we're at. That's the landscape as of the moment.
Mm. In
Um,
regards to my understanding with like with a few commentators as of like right now, for what the best I could do was cyber tip. Uh, keeping in mind because anything I'm learning today right now. But if I that I could go to like YouTube reps or something like that because I don't know if shit all with that. So the only best I could do was just give the Cybertip website.
Well, here's the thing about taking his channel down too. You go to a YouTube rep, okay, the channel gets deleted if there's, reasonable cause for them to do that, but he can always make another account. That doesn't solve the issue. Solving the issue is filing a police report, filing cyber tips.
But some of the
Getting
issue
him in
would be
trouble with
him
the law.
getting him arrested.
That would be solving the issue.
Yeah,
Getting
but
rid of his channel just slows the process. He can always go into another community and harm more people. That's why it's, important to report it properly.
Yeah.
And then, have proper coverage of the situation, in my opinion.
So what I did was, in regards to the stitches, was the cyber tip. I just gave it to whoever I felt would like it was relevant to. But quite frankly, I said I might as well have. I basically just gave it to everybody at that point. Um, However, in regards to, I primarily gave it to Zeal, and then one other person, just for the sake that if something can be done. I heard that for Zeal that Zeal wanted to it's like I think Zeal and their mom contacted the police twice. Nothing was done about that. So I was like, okay, let me Cybertip would be the next best thing. Let me just hopefully something happens. Not confirming, but if there's an opportunity, something will happen. In regards to Sam, Ashley, Ace, and them lot, and keeping in mind I haven't spoken with them for a very long time up until recently, just because God knows if this is how we get back in contact. Another situation has to happen. From how the situation when it was handled, or was it when it came to my one? It was very mixed. I'd say online vigilante would be the type of ordeal to call to really call it. Whilst I can't really say much about the police report. All that happened was that I was told it was gonna happen. It never happened. I'm gonna take it that they thought they knew what they were doing, but quite frankly, I'm pretty sure they just did whatever the first thing that came to mind, just ran with that.
All they did was run with it when they get mad at somebody for leaking his information.
Right.
When it's known that he's done some heinous shit, and they say, "Oh, well, you're a doxer, you're a piece of shit. We can find a pedophile." So that's
Yeah.
So
So
let me change that. Alleged borderline pedophile.
I mean,
Yeah.
having a 15-year-old nude on your phone is probably pretty good. Standing to call them a pedophile.
Search his hard drive.
yeah, I'm hoping for one of the for one of these cases was it that someone picks it up and then someone goes, oh, that's straight up illegal. Yeah, can we touch this pictures computer please and thank you.
I think
Like,
the strongest one to harp on would be the Casey story, and it's a bit irritating that ZV and Sam have fucked it up so monumentally. I think the goofiest part was Casey requesting that their name not be shown, and then they show it literally in Sam's initial video, and then rather than leave well enough alone, ZV goes, "Oh, look what they did! They showed her name. Look, oh my God, they're stupid." So now anybody that's sick and weird can probably just look up a re-upload of Sam's vid, and then boom, now they've got Casey's account name.
yeah.
But
I'm still waiting for the excuse on that one because that's not Sam's first time.
the thing I would say about the banning of the YouTube channel, the only reason I would want that to occur is because when I looked at his channel, he still has people on there that are like, oh, they're a bunch of liars, it's bullshit, y'all are stupid, and blah blah blah. And then, granted, the majority of people are shitting on Gnome, but the reason I want that channel taken down simultaneously with a investigation would be ideal, is just so They don't have somewhere to congregate, but I guess them congregating is probably going to be the best evidence for a case like that.
Mm.
I thought when I was looking, I have one more question regarding the Discord, but I don't know anyone that's currently in it. I was curious to know if the general was age gated or not.
General chat, no, he has a special chat in there that's called Thug Chat, or Ruthless Thugs, some shit like that. And
Fuck chat.
it's Thug Chat. He had
Yeah.
a Thug Chat where it wasn't really age gated, it was supposed to be 18 plus, but he let minors in there. And inside of that part of the server, porn would be posted. Porn, shock, like shock gifs, shock crap,
The
along with
Yeah.
a few bestiality clips. If you've ever heard anybody joke about the turtle gif, it was literally somebody doing something to a turtle.
what
There was one with the chicken, there was one with the fish, there was a lot of fucked up shit that was posted inside of that server.
and then your videos have the evidence of that, right?
As far as my video goes, there was not because I was never part of that part of the server.
Where would I go about finding, just for like self confirmation? Where would I go to, I guess not look at the images, but just see that that shit happened and maybe it's blurred out or something?
I don't think anybody, because I was hunting for that too. I don't
It's
think
us.
anybody has any proof to that now.
Wait, hold
Because
on. Are you
Noma's pretty
saying
much flagged
that?
that.
Oh, wait. Okay. I was gonna say, if it was, do you need evidence that it happened, or do you need evidence that,
Um,
like, or like that someone said it happened, or like, or in reference to that, or?
the ultimate, I mean, just again, this is not for like, you know, proof beyond reasonable doubt, blah, blah, blah. This is just like for my own brain be satisfied. And again, you don't have to, I'm just some fucking guy. You don't gotta satisfy, me. But my threshold would be a screenshot of that chat, and then the that would be enough for me to get behind that happened, and then beyond that would be like somebody going into the chat, refreshing Discord, and then like the chat's still there, and that would be that's like
I would
I
say
would say
that's
it's
unobtainable
yeah,
now unless somebody did that at the time all that shit was happening.
yeah.
Because that was happening before the whole falling out between Nomis, Sam, and all of them, and before he was called out for his shit.
Yeah.
The reason he went ghost mode and stopped uploading videos for a period of time was because he was doxxed by yours truly.
They call it the what do you call it? The doxing thing. Who I guess who all
Who all called
um
it doxing? That would be Ace Howler, Sam, pretty much most of them.
what was their reason for being against it?
Doxing is horrible. Doxing is immoral to them. It's wrong, even though he's obviously a degenerate, and I just wanted that information to be out there, so if somebody else had actions with him, he's not this untouchable bad guy. They have information, they can file a proper report.
So
They can talk to their parents, their teacher, their therapist,
that actually
a
brings
best
up
friend, and get it sorted out.
that actually made my brain click. So your video was 7 months ago, right? The quote unquote docs was like 7 months ago, right?
Correct. It was at the start of this year.
Okay. So does anyone have proof that ZV, I mean, probably, right? ZV, like, read
ZV
the
knew about it,
docs?
it was not included in the information.
Does, does he have a
Sam,
reason for that?
Ace, these people don't like that information. They don't like using that stuff.
That's retarded.
Even though to me it's important to have that, so if somebody has experiences, they know who this guy is. He's no longer hiding anonymously behind the screen, right?
Yeah, excuse my French, but that's it's very remedial. To me, that nursing school argument was super fucking weak, and the docs was pretty much like I was trying not to like all caps lay or Leo when I got it, because I was like, yes, that's it, that's it right there, fuck, there it is. And then everything
Yeah.
else clicked into place about how he talked about age of consent, how he tried to hide his age, like all that stuff started clicking once there was confirmation that he
Yeah.
was 23 in 2024, which would have made him 20 around the time he was pressuring Casey.
Yeah.
That, I mean, that to me was the final nail in the coffin, the silver bullet. I was like, boom, there it is, we're done here. But it was
Right.
irritating. I think I had like a little mini freak out at work because I was like, this was 7 months ago, but ZV's video is 3 months ago. What the hell happened? What is this?
Oh, I'll say in regards to ZV, I don't know much in regards to what he was doing with those two videos, and I only say that because I didn't speak with him.
Hmm.
The only reason why I know much of ZV is so he heard of my situation. He never told me he was gonna make a video on it. Let alone never asked me about anything about it. Uh, if you, as far as to my acknowledgement about how much he's involved, uh, just he used to. His involvement, to my understanding, is that he used to be friends with Nomis. Uh, them two don't like each other anymore. They had an issue like prior. Uh,
ZV used to be
I
ZV used to be friends with Nomas?
yeah. I that's
Really?
funny enough. I met him. I used to watch his videos. Forgot about him. He came in Nomis's server. I met him through there. Those two had an issue, and then ZV done was ZV done left. I
In
think he like heard my situation and then like started. That's when he was it? That's when he talked about it. The first time, and then Nomis responded to that, and then ZV responded again. And ZV made another video.
ZV frames it as the whole time he was aiming to troll and screw with Nomas. He frames it. The way he frames it in his first video is, oh shit, where is it? He got added to something. Someone added him to a Discord, and he was like, "What is this?" And the messages he shows, ZV is saying like, "Oh, I guess I'll just join out of nowhere," and then he talks with Nomas, and then Nomas claims that ZV is like being weird and shit, and then Nomas
Yeah,
bans ZV. Um,
no, that was actually kind of accurate. I will say at the beginning it was like I don't know. I mean, I don't know ZV's intention and all that jazz. It's just I already knew. Like, was it like I only remembered him much because I remembered one video from him, and that was it.
like the
So
like the way ZV frames it is that his whole intention on talking with and getting close, as he puts it, to Nomas was to like ultimately like take him out because Nomas was lying and saying that ZV
yeah, but he
had hit
didn't.
him with the IP tracker.
Oh, yeah, but he didn't know about the situation because it didn't happen at this. Like, no one came out about it.
Yeah,
Like when he was
ZV.
around.
I don't know if he probably meant it
I think
like
so.
he was just trying to troll and screw with, and then he found out about all this stuff, and he's like, "Oh, goody! Now I have a reason to have not liked this person, other than them being a liar." Because like the first part of ZV's video, the whole, well, actually, not even the first part. The 2/3 of it at the beginning, are just him recounting the introduction and drama to Nomas, um, and not covering like anything regarding the allegations or him being predatory. It was literally just, oh, this Nomas guy said that I hit him with an IP tracker. This guy's a weirdo. Let's look at his YouTube channel. Oh, he likes to do weird stuff. He's acting like a weird guy. He calls himself a psychopath. Blah blah blah. And then we like take a hard right turn into like breakneck speed into, oh, so he's a predator and he's a PDF file, and he's like predating all these people and he's a bad person. I was like, what? Whoa, holy crap! And then he starts posting the screenshots. A few of them I got pissed off because he only had them on screen for like a second, and the reason he had them on for a second was because the person that was messaging was saying I don't have access to keep getting these huge lag spikes. There we go. Um, and what do you call it? Oh, where was I going? But yeah, to me, it's like 2/3 of it was drama. The last third was, and here's the reason why he's actually a horrible person. I was onto something. I knew I didn't like this guy for a reason. That's what it felt like. I wanted very badly to skip just to the stuff where he talks about, y'all and the situation with Nomes, but I was told
Mm.
like I had to watch the whole thing because there was crucial details in there and there really weren't, and it was really fucking annoying.
Mm.
Um, I don't think I even started taking notes until like the 26-minute mark.
Oh.
Um, but yeah, so what was that? And then what else? My whole understanding of ZV is that I don't know what the fuck. I'm about to just start playing Skyrim. I don't know if it's Elden Ring that's causing my shit to lag out. All right, we're just gonna play Skyrim. Fuck this. Um, my computer's lagging because of Elden Ring, so we're going to Skyrim. I just, I really don't like ZV, and from what ZV showed at the end of his second video, I'm not too fond of Sam, but I haven't watched his video yet, and just one last, just sorry for rambling for so long, but I had one thing that's really bugging me. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
am am I wrong? So, do people understand that Gnome is backwards of Simon? Like, do people behind the
Oh,
scenes know that?
okay. That. How do I explain this? The reason why I got the name in the first place, because I don't know if I was the first one to figure it out. I'll take it. I was the first one to figure it out. When I had the argument with Nomis, I then blocked him. He had two of his adult friends come to me, basically just, hey, he's really upset right now. I say tread carefully and all that jazz. One of his friends goes, and this is what I'm assuming was one of his IRL friends. He goes, oh, hey, I heard like, Simon, I'm one of his friends. Just saying, he's kind of like feeling this, that, and the other, just like tread lightly and all that jazz. I'm like, okay, well, they take care of him and all that, but, whatever.
Hmm.
Uh, th- Everybody in regards to that, by the way, I'm saying this before I met Weasel, so I don't know if Weasel knew him as Simon or not. Um, Everybody was contemplating on it. I think I either like they were contemplating on it, or I brung it up random where I was like, oh, by the way, I know his name. And they're like, oh, wait, you do? I was like, yeah. It's funny enough, it's actually not that like it's not that far off from the name that he has in his YouTube one. They go, oh, what is it? It's like it's Simon. And then they're like, wait, hold on, how do you know? I was like, well, A, his friend told me, and B, like, look at that name backwards. They're like, oh. So his surname must be Flay, and I was like, I don't know. I know fucking Simon, but I don't think his surname's Flay.
That like
So,
that
it's funny.
that killed me, and I was like, I think the part that pissed me off the most, and the part that keeps clicking and making me angrier, is that if ZV knew about the docs and he had the information at hand, right? Um, and he also knew that you know Nemo's back or Nimos or whatever the hell backwards is Simon, then
Mm.
or Nomis, Jesus, Nomis backwards is Simon. Why, when he's covering Casey's allegation, she says, I think the quote is like I think ZV says she says his name is Simon. I can't confirm that, but we'll go with it. In my mind, I was like, that's really weird. Why would you even put that out there if you can't confirm it? And then I was like, wait a minute. No, Miz. Let me look at this. Simon. Uh oh. And I was like, wait a minute. So it makes sense his name is Simon. And then I find out about the docs. I'm like, what the? And then now I find out that ZV knew about the docs. And now I'm even more heated. I'm like, why would you almost throw Casey up under the bus by not backing up when she says his name is Simon? I don't understand why he didn't just say, I have sources. I can't, divulge those sources, but, trust me when I say his name is Simon.
I
Something
think
like that.
to try and semi keep his credibility, in which if he says that he doesn't know, then realistically, then was it? Then it will seem to him it will seem to the people that because he did it's simple. He just didn't know. That's fine. People don't know things sometimes and all that jazz.
Yeah.
Which for a
So
case
with
like this,
that,
it's which I'd rebuttal with, huh? I'd rebuttal with what?
Because, like, in my mind, there's enough evidence here to prove that he more than likely, there's like a 90% chance he knew what his name
Yeah,
was.
if you if the evidence is already out there and is already at hand, the only way that the only way that an I don't know doesn't work in this situation is that you didn't do your research, right?
I can
And that's
100%
that.
say ZV knew about the docs because ZV was trolling Nomus with the photos that were in that docs.
Oh, let's see.
Yeah.
What,
On the commentary. So if you were to ask me my thoughts on that, the reason why ZV did that was one, because who wants to be tied to a doxer? Nobody does, right? I'm used to that. Docs spend life, right? But in terms of that also, they keep their credibility because for whatever fucking reason, right? It just keeps them clean. They're not tied to a doxer using quote unquote dox information because that was what Sam. If that one video I sent you, that's the reality check on Sesame Street.
hmm.
That's my Twitter slap fight with Samuel, or not Samuel, fucking Ace Howler.
Ish.
That pretty much sums up why they don't like that information and why nobody used that information, even though it is fact.
So I'm not in the commentary community, but I've consumed like hours and hours and hours and hours of just random streams and documents and essays and shit. I feel like other much bigger creators have gotten away with saying, um, you know, I have a source, can't really divulge that source, but trust me when I say this is confirmed. Like, even behind the scenes, what was the drama? Oh, days. I think it was like the Hassan Lav drama.
I know what you're talking about, yeah.
Even behind the scenes, people were reaching out to other people and going like, "Hey, this is not true. This isn't exactly how Lav is putting it." And then just from that testimony, they're like, "Nah, it's not true. What Lav is saying isn't true." Like, in my mind, I feel like even if you don't like the docs, even if you don't want to show attention to it, even if you don't want to bring light to it, you can say like, yeah, there's information in there. Like, a lot of people don't like kiwi farms, and that's 100% understandable. That's 1 billion% understandable. But there's a lot of shit in there.
There's a lot of resources with that. I agree with that.
Like that, like the biggest, I think, pro quote unquote kiwi farms argument is that there's a lot of information in there with a lot of it being bullshit, but then the people that actually like source it with hyperlinks and like um archive pictures and links and whatnot, that to me is like the biggest boon of that website. So I know people don't like doxing. I know that there are a lot of people that take the stance that it's never okay. I understand that. But in my mind, it's the guy that literally demonstrated he has CP on his phone. So I don't, on his phone or on his computer. So I don't really give a shit. Like, there are people, we call it, there are people where you don't really know if they're a predator, you don't really know, but like the dude literally demonstrated he had it. So
Yeah.
I don't really care that it was dog. That's just me.
something in terms of that?
Say again?
If you don't mind me asking you something in terms of all this.
Yeah.
So I believe you were reaching out to Nomis on his community feed. Was that just to get his side of things, or what is the
Oh yeah.
reasoning with that?
So if you look at the time, it's like right after Pastel. So I basically do my research and to look into it more. And so I was like, okay, let me cover my bases here. Let me go look at Nomiz, and then I saw his YouTube description. And I was like, what the? Oh, this is fucking weird. And then that's when I left the comment in the community tab. I think on the most recent post, like 4 days ago. I think that's the only one he's got left. Basically just wanting to reach out and ask him his side. And then the goober has his Discord tied exactly to his YouTube name, so I found it super easily and then just added him. I haven't heard anything yet. If I do talk to him, it's I don't really think he's gonna watch this. He might. I don't know. I mean, my main goal in talking to him would be to get, I guess, any counter argument he may have. I don't think he's got a lot. I think that the Casey conversation is completely damning. I feel like the only, I guess, back and forth he could give is like, well, I didn't know their ages. And then I would ask for proof of that. And if he doesn't have for proof of that, I would just pretty much assume that he knew. But, yeah, my main goal was just to get his side, but I don't think he's around anymore or right now.
Fair enough.
Because what did I say exactly? Hold on, let me see. I said not the Ludwig video. Oh, for fuck's sake! I have to actually look it up.
Weird type.
Nope. Oh, this is 2 weeks ago. Jesus, I'm off. Yeah, sent you a friend request on Discord, hoping to ask you a few questions to get your side of the story. Yeah. Damn, that was 2 weeks ago. I thought I saw one that was like 4 days ago. I might just be high. What is the significance of this one right here? 109/2024?
It's supposed to be the date of his like quote unquote return where he's gonna explain everything. From what I'm hearing.
Oh, I forgot. Y'all are y'all are on the other side of the pond, so it's like okay. He means like
Oh wait,
September
did he say
1st.
1/19/2024?
When I says 0109, and in my mind I was like January 9th. What is that? What does that mean? And I looked through and I was like, I can't find anything for January 9th, and I just realized that he means like September
Yeah,
1st.
like in 2 weeks and all that jazz, and I'm gonna be in Egypt. I'm gonna be enjoying my life.
I don't really
Weird type.
know. I don't really know how he'd come back. I mean, Doctor Disrespect came back, but
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't really see how he could come back other than like completely ignoring the Casey thing and then just saying that he was, I don't know, this is like the biggest steel man I can think of. Like he was just, ignorant and not really in tune with his partner's feelings during their time after they were essayed and blah blah blah, all that bullshit. That I think that would be his best argument, but it's gonna involve like a lot of just not covering.
So you asked in terms of keeping him out of the community and stuff. I'm gonna go ahead and send you a link to a video. I want you to go and look in the comment section of that video.
Uh-oh.
And you're gonna notice somebody that is by the name of DD Live Studios. When you get there, I'm watching your stream, so when you get there, I'll kind of show you where it's at.
Are we live or hi?
Oh yeah, I'm sorry. I asked Diesel before I came on if it was all right.
Oh no, it's
Um,
fine. I forgot.
So sort by newest first
hmm,
on those comments, or you actually have them there. Just do a little drop down on them.
which one? The
I do newest first. You'll
oh,
see Honeys and Cutie Pie, DD fandom protectors, and then CC creator junkies. Click his replies on those.
the DD Chunkies.
So he once admitted those accounts were his. Now he's saying they're not his too. So he's a compulsive liar. But if you're wondering the relevance, that DD guy has a registered sex offender inside of his Discord server, and he has another guy that was pointed out. I have a whole document on this as well. But Nomus has befriended that guy.
So this isn't Nomes, right? This is somebody else entirely.
That is someone else entirely.
Okay.
I have a whole archive of that dude's shit as well. Here you go. I'll send you a link to that.
Oh shit.
So you can argue, okay, he may wiggle back, but the thing is that there's a lot of ammunition still in the chamber of stuff to beef out if he tries to come back that will push him back off the internet. I'll send you a link to that video I'm talking about, by the way. There's that.
So these people are like, or Didi and Nomes are like confirmed buddy buddy.
They're friends as of that instance, right?
Mad W. Who is CC Creator Junkies?
That is a friend of DD. The registered offender they have inside of their server is a guy that goes by the name of Human Azram. Human Azarm, however the fuck you pronounce that. There's a news clip and news article inside of that video, and it explains most of that. But, you know, Nomus is fine engaging with this guy because they have a mutual hatred for a doxer, right? Just throwing that out there, too.
I I guess let me ask, this is the only time that you've done something like this, or is this like, did they have
I have a
multiple
history.
instances?
What do you mean by that?
Do you have like multiple instances of doxing individuals?
I have a little bit of a history of hanging around like cracked OG users and doxmen, so I guess you could say, yeah.
But I mean, like,
I
well,
don't
I mean,
really
you're.
partake in that shit seriously anymore. More so, I just do investigations now.
I guess my question is, do they have? So sometimes in communities, you'll hear this idea that somebody is something, and the only reason it's perpetuated is because it's like just an internal community belief. And then, like, when you try to track down where the source is, there isn't one. It's just people repeating after another, after another, after another, after one person said it. I guess my question would be like, do they have evidence of you doxing multiple people, or are they just saying like, oh, he used to be on Doxbin?
There's evidence of throughout my whole channel, dude. If you go through any of my videos, you'll find videos that are like exposed or hotboxes.
Mm-hmm.
Those I go into some personal information about people. Personally, it's public information, so to me, it's tied with your brand alias, so therefore it's not a dox in my opinion, but it is what it is. I'm two terms with being called a doxer, with it being, you know, being a doxer, right?
When they say doxing, are we talking first last name, or are we talking about like addresses?
I have, in terms of these people when they're degenerate, I have all their information because I want to give that to the feds, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the whole point of obtaining all that information. If they're a serious degenerate, the feds, I want as much information as possible.
Um, to me, doxing wouldn't just be collecting it; it would also be like posting it for like everyone.
I mean, the only stuff I post for everyone is shit on degenerate people. Like, if you notice, there's like a history tendency of me covering like zoophiles or predators, right? Not as many predators, there's more zoophiles in there, but yeah.
Um,
Here, I'll give you a good example to that of what I'm talking about would be
I
this right here.
they
This would
call
be
it.
like the turning point a year ago. this would kind of give you, I guess, a rundown of what I do.
I am gonna be frank. I don't really. If it's still up on YouTube, it must not be like you posted their like fucking address and their social security information or shit.
No, I don't post that stuff online. The only thing I do is give people a name, a face, and a general idea. Okay, they're X, Y, and Z here when they're a piece of shit, right? It really just depends on the situation.
Yeah.
And that's after authorities have been contacted.
Like your PC setup.
And my like understanding of doxing is that usually it would be like in regards to like private information that is private. That's something that you wouldn't see, like on social media or like connected to either
A
a brand
brand
name
alias.
or
Yeah.
like a brand alias. So like
You
yeah, so it's basically if it's something that you will not see public, that's what I'd consider just like was it if there's information that comes out but it's not that wasn't public to like ever begin with, that's what I'd call doxing.
I would say
So it'd be like like victim's real name, home address, workplace, phone number, financial information, and other personal details. If those details are private, right? So,
I'm trying to think of how to phrase this, but like to me, I am gonna be frank. If keep
mm,
saying I'm gonna be frank. Let me try to find another word. Just being honest, I don't. If it's confirmed that these people are like two files or in no, we call it in no Mrs. case, I can't really give. I don't really think I could give a shit. I to me, I guess doxing is bad, but if the person is unable to be affected in any other way, other than like they are brought to the sunlight, I don't really know. Like you know, I hide my face and all that just because I want to keep my job, but I'm also not on the internet like trying to message 13, 14-year olds.
mm,
But if I was, I don't really think I would care. We call it if someone else was wearing a mask and they were messaging people that are 13 or 14, I don't really think I would care if somebody like unmasked them. Um,
yeah, that's fair.
I
I
just
mean, we're talking about someone who's like traumatized multiple people and done stuff to multiple people and sent image and there was it and like guilt tripped multiple people with their self harm and with
like I told Weasel
a whole bunch of stuff.
I
Like,
told Weasel in DMs like I don't care that this person was
right?
doxxed, and I also thanked him just because like literally, not figuratively, not metaphorically, okay, literally that was the last piece needed to completely nail him in my mind. And
Mm,
without that out there, all the arguments that the community was producing in regards to like his age were all falling flat because nobody says flatly he was this age at this time. Like, oh, he could have been 18. Oh, he could have been 24. Well, if he was 18 in what, 23, that means he would have been 16 by the time he messaged Casey.
yeah.
So still fucked up, but
Mm.
it's a teenager holding on to a nude of an ex. You know, pretty fucked up. But now that
Pretty sure that's still illegal, right?
it is illegal, but like now
Is
that
that
it's
not still
a
illegal? Regardless.
no, I mean it is, but like it's still CP. But like I don't think he would get the same amount of I don't think he would get the same amount of scrutiny if he was like 23. Like in my
Oh no, because
mind,
people would see it as like, oh, it's two teenagers and they're not just doing whatever they're just doing whatever they feel like they want to do with
yeah.
whatever they with their bar. But it's still illegal regardless anyway. So don't do it, kids. Letting you on.
So yeah, to me, I don't really care. Um,
Oh, that's understandable. I think the reason why people call it doxing, or like at least with this situation, is because no one like sees. I guess what like was it? It'd be
I would just say not all
I
doxing,
find it weird.
not all doxing is created equal. That's how I would put it.
Yeah.
But
I so I feel like when there's situations where there's like public information, like just periods, then what is it? Then like was it spreading that? I wouldn't have considered doxing because that's public information. Period. I guess because people don't do that. I guess they call it doxing now.
but to me, when like I think I Show Speed just had this happen to him. Like his mom's wedding photos got released. Like, well, why the fuck did you do that? What was the point of that?
Mm.
And the point was like, oh, it's just because I found them and I thought it was nifty. I was like, okay, well then you're an idiot, and that's probably like a bad form of. I wouldn't say that was doxing. That's a bad form of like releasing private information. But if it's like, hey, I've got this guy, cops aren't doing anything, YouTube's not doing anything, nobody's doing anything, so here's his face and his name, so y'all stop interacting with him. Like, okay, fair. I don't really care. I don't really. Well, I don't have the energy. I don't have the ability to give a shit about a predator being doxxed, I guess,
Right.
or zoophiles being doxxed, or any of that stuff. I don't really care.
Yeah. Oh, I know if it was on the situation in regards to like guessing Nomis's age and all that. Uh, I felt like that excuse only would have happened if the docs didn't exist.
If the docs didn't
I
exist, there is literally no. Like I said, because when I was reaching out to everyone, I'm looking for something concrete to like point at and go, no, look, here is Gnome confirming his age. Here is Gnome confirming that they knew their ages. This is here it
mm,
is right here. Boom, bam. But nobody had any of that. I think
I oh, there's actually
like nobody had any DMs that they were willing to point at or that were in ZV's video or in the document in regards of gnomes like saying point blank, you know, I'm or you're this age, I'm this age. Because like when it comes to oh what was their name? The individual with the silver the hedgehog profile picture. You know what I'm talking about? That was in that call with Gnome.
uh, which one?
Oh man, it's in the documents. Oh shit, what's their name? Well, all right. Anyway, this person said that they were 14 or 15 to ZV at the time, and Gnome was calling them cute and just being generally weird. And so
Mm,
I was waiting for ZV to show that Gnome knew their age. Um, Gnome didn't. This person was drawing fan art for Gnome. I don't know if Gnome had a conversation with this person asking them their age or if this person had on their profile like this is my age or any of that shit. Like I don't know any of that because it's not in the document. And so when I reached out to the person, it's like, hey, my only question is like, in ZV's video, he shows that somebody by the name of like, I wrote it down. Hold on, like Doom something. Where is it? Terminate Daza was backing.
oh,
Yeah, Terminate Daza was backing up that this individual was 14 or 15 to ZV, but this
okay.
person also didn't provide ZV or anyone evidence that Nam knew that this person was 14 or 15.
Yeah, I don't know who the hell that is. You said Terminator also, then I knew he was on about, but I don't know that person. Just period.
Yeah, it was. I wrote down that ZV
I
said
only say
irregardless.
much because most of the other people who was coming out about the situation, I'm pretty sure during that time, I think either my situation would have probably been over or it was still happening. I would have reached out, but I was still kind of, I was still kind of upset with me. um,
Okay,
in
yeah.
regards to his age, there is the reason why that 18 to 25 one was his range. Uh, that's because that's the range that he put it at when everybody was still friends with him. Like he never had a direct like he never told anybody like a direct age. I think the only person he told was like really close friends. And then even when I asked like they're really close friends, who, to my understanding, was like older than him, they were like, "Oh, he's just like a few years younger." So I was like, "Okay, cool." So he's in his 20s, and that's that. There's, I know there's a video where, and this is gonna sound so stupid. Someone tried to claim him being 27 and
Jesus.
used evidence that he was 21 from a video that was a year ago.
Jesus.
Which, so no miss lives, but that was the most dumbest thing I heard my whole life. I laugh.
Is there a chat where I can just pop this person's profile? It's not the DM, it's just the individual I'm talking about that was claimed to be 14 or 15.
Uh,
I mean, I could probably just say their name. Zeal Unknown Khan.
oh, that's the one in the. Oh, that's the one in the dock, isn't it?
Yeah, so they
Yeah. Oh,
claim
okay.
that they were 14 or 15 at the time, and then I watched ZV's video and I watched and I read through the doc, and
Mm.
they claim they're 14 or 15. Terminate Daza agrees that they're 14 or 15, but there's no, I don't have, there's no screenshot or conversation, and then when ZV is asking them questions, they're saying, I'm not really sure, I don't really remember, I don't have those conversations, and then rather than like talk about that, ZV is like blasting through these like DMs, like trying to get through the ones where they aren't just concretely saying I was 14 or 15. They were like completely ignoring their maybe the cloudy memory, fair enough, because it was a while ago and probably had other shit going on. But
Mm.
I think if you are going to push that like he knew, you should probably show that he knew. That was like my biggest issue with Prism 42 and Chris Tyson. The dude spent months researching Chris Tyson and talking to Lava and all this, but he had literally nothing showing that Chris knew everyone was underage. He was just kind of going off the assumption that Chris knew, um, which is a fair assumption. But I wanted something to prove it. Um,
Mm.
but so far, the whole Chris Tyson narrative, thankfully, is resting on the laurels of him putting Shadman art in a Discord full of kids, and nobody's asked the question if he knew they were kids, because the number one person that Prism had was Lava. This was before any of the other victims came out, right?
All right.
The only one he had was Lava, and Lava was hired by Chris and Mr. Beast to do content with them, and they were paying Lava. Um, I would say that a fair argument for Chris was like, we were paying the guy, we have no idea, we had no idea he was a kid. And then there's a date where Chris meets Lava at a meetup, and that at that point, I feel like the excuse I didn't know their age no longer works.
Mm-hmm.
But Prism did like no investigative journalisming between that point and their initial contact to see if Chris knew his age. And thankfully, somebody else dropped all the Discord logs and was like, "Oh yeah, these kids were talking about how they're all moderators, and Chris had access to the moderator chat, and they're talking about how there are kids in the NSFW channels, and trying to figure out a way to allow the moderators into the NSFW channels, and some of the moderators are kids, and blah 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 blah." But Prism had literally none of that. So my big issue was like, oh, he gave Chris room, or he gave, I'm sorry, Ava. Jesus, I keep going by Chris because that's like what all the videos said at first. But um, Ava had room to wiggle out of just because of that one piece of negligence, and that shit really bothers me.
Mm.
I don't like when somebody is like objectively a awful individual and they now have a little bit of room to escape because somebody wasn't doing like all the work required to like completely nail them down.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, that was with Zeal, and then I haven't even bothered trying to reach out to Pastel. I don't think they like me.
Yeah, I don't know about that one.
I was convinced, I'm not gonna lie, that there was a group chat between the doc writers because when Pastel put out their tweet, a lot of y'all were responding with like, "Did you read the doc?" And I was like, this is very odd. They're all kind
Oh
of
yeah.
forming.
I'll be honest, I listened to I saw one of your questions and then one of your questions was something about the age and then it I think the next one was like there's like something about that being mentioned and that what was it that Nomis acknowledged it and I read that as in oh so you've seen that Nomis acknowledged that was it acknowledged that no, acknowledged our ages. I was like okay cool there you go that's your answer you did it.
Like in my mind, at the very beginning when I first interacted with Pastel, I didn't know shit, and so I started digging, and then first I started with the doc. And I was like, let me look into this Pastel person. And I was like, this is weird. Who is this? Who is this other individual? And then I asked the other individual, and the other individual decided to message them, which was not message them, but decided to reply to one of their tweets. And I was like, ugh, shit, that was a misstep. Um, now they like, oh my god, lightning just struck. Anyway, yeah, that was a misstep. My bad. I haven't replied to any of the tweets because I don't really want to piss them off anymore than they probably already are. Um, so I felt like just leaving it alone. But yeah, I think it was like Zeal, you, and Delirium.
Yeah.
And I was like, well, shit. I'm just gonna roll with it. Yeah, like legitimately, the only reason I was asking all these questions is because I have no fucking idea. My best guess as to why this tweet landed on me is because y'all follow, I think somebody called like Aphyx or AYPHIX or something, and then somebody that I
Oh.
follow, Printer14 follows Aphyx, and Aphyx follows Printer14. I'm gonna guess that Twitter did some weird shit where it like feeds me something related to Printer14.
Yeah, fair enough.
Um, yeah, that's pretty much the long and short of all my questions.
There's
Is there anything else y'all wanted to go over?
I think I'm pretty much good.
Any
yeah.
tips or tricks for the future?
Hey, but I'm gonna be a buck. I don't know. This is my first ever rodeo where I'm like,
Hopefully the last.
yeah.
But
Yeah. Yeah.
what do you call it? But yeah, I'll definitely look at your videos, Diesel, and then if I have any questions or notes, I'll shoot them to you. If Gnome reaches out, I'll let y'all know. Um, if he does, I don't know if he will or not. I've tried to stay quiet publicly on Twitter about my opinion just because I don't want to scare Gnome off. I think the only person that I've expressed my opinion fully to is you, Leah, and you, Diesel, and then the other people I contacted, I just kind of left it with a have a good one. Thank you for your time.
All right.
Sure, dude.
Yeah, I didn't want to.
Yes. Yeah.
And you're welcome to stay on the server if you got any questions for me later or anything you want looked into. I can offer that. So.
Awesome. Thank you, buddy. If y'all need anything from me, feel free to reach me on Twitter or Discord. I'll probably be more accessible on Twitter. Just because it's like the only Twitter account I have, and then I've got, I got my streamer Discord, and then I've got, the Discord I message family members and my wife on.
All right. Good.
So I'm usually like swapping between them. But yeah, thank y'all for the conversation. And then yeah, if I have any questions, I'll just DM y'all. If y'all have anything for me, feel free to reach out. And I want to thank you both for your time, and you know, especially thank you to Diesel. Well, a special thank you to Leah for first of all talking to me. Feel
Sure.
bad that I messaged you at like fucking like 4 in the morning where you were at or something.
Nah, it was like 10. I was already awake. I
Yeah,
started my day off.
my day usually starts at 4, so um,
Damn.
but yeah, thank you for talking to me. Thank you for sharing what you did, and thank you Diesel for putting out the work that these other wannabes don't really want to put out, irritating me to no end.
Mhm.
Um, I guess my parting thing would just be, uh, I would like to see, like, even with, I don't know, even with this, quote unquote bad reputation that Diesel has, I would rather see this story in y'all's hands, working with somebody that might be able to signal boost it, than it going back to ZV or Samuel or those people, just because I don't think they're really in it for y'all. I think that they're kind of just in it for views, which is really sad because the how much did the Samuel one get? Samuel, not even back. No, God, it doesn't even pop up at the top of the. Oh my God, it doesn't even pop up on the YouTube. It doesn't even pop up in the Google search. Yet, all right. My point was ultimately being was like it didn't get as many views as I would have liked it to have. And I think that's just because they put too much time trying to screw with one another.
Mm.
Like I think Nobit, like Viagi got 55K, and then his follow up with like is it the follow up with like the even bigger allegation had like what? Ugh. The follow up with Casey had 30. Jesus Christ.
E.
Um, I guess that would be my only. That's my only input. Other than that, I think y'all. Well, I need to see before I glaze Diesel. I need to see your videos first. But from the short overview that I got, I feel like y'all did probably the best job of handling it, and I'd like to see that continuing going forward. If y'all do continue to cover um, Demos.
I plan to. I don't know about Lee here, but in terms of that, if you have criticism for those videos as well, please send that my way because I don't get enough of that. I think you know how it is, little guy. Nobody looks at your shit, so you can't really improve to start getting feedback.
Um, if I do give feedback, it's probably gonna be like super. I'm not. I'm like the wrong guy to go for like visual and artistic stuff, but like when it comes to like just the information,
Yeah, I'm more
that's
so worried about articulation, so any criticism in that regard would be awesome. I cuss a lot, so full warning there.
yeah. I noticed that in the one video that Leah sent. I was like, maybe this could have done with a script, but it's got the information in it is probably what's gonna be the most important. Yeah,
E.
that's it. Thank you both for your time. Feel free to reach out. I am probably gonna end the stream and sleep. I got to be up again at 4.